Sadebo. Yes, Sadebo, I want to make I say, Okra, so duty, Okayanka. Nyama we bring no koso memoir. Hard, yes, a film. One can say, send a more ibre, send a more ibre. If Amanonia, a send a young and Noma, ne way, Omocrapo, send a treaty or more. Send a treaty young boy, send a treaty and one man women. A young lady in the perfume, Sasso young boy film, Ubia a complaining, a young qua Aden. Aden a your man when I can say, dear home bonny sing. Own fast walk. Usika crowd beginti undring ochinawo undring de unya benya ochinawo na undring ochinawo unimza woba aden hwe o de woniji se wo yesen o woniji nanso ochinawo enije bi ne bebia one hwe yinsu nya ya se no yese yinsu yi ayese ko kraba ako kra yinsu a obesi de nyansu anu ya se yinsu nyina etwa ekoko nyina egu ye board ye twa nyina egu se Galamsey ye se bibia o man we mu uka na de se uhu de onya kokra eya o man mu eni je bia ne de bia utu oni a oni nto bebia nim hwe natural resources na kopɔ de man yen pa wa hye ensu hwe na modugu man yen Pangasa hwe utise uhwa na ya asefum adan hwe obia utise abon de se uhu de obeso nya abo an kra but ne be na abo uko abrochi na ko hu no man abrochi de no man de ukuru ko kan na so wo de hwe de wo ye wo de bibini ye nipa o bibini ye nipa adan umma mutina kwa tise insegu kwa kana ya asefum hwe ahwe abon bone be na wo ye enti ne bone wa ye na wo abon enesa the bonny are born in a boy say.
The Bultre River runs through the Ahanta West municipality as well as the Mpoho and the Wasa East district in the western region. The river is the major source of water for residents of Usejo, Freti, Otopo, and other communities close by. Residents say the water was clean and clear before the river was taken over by Galamsey activities.
Base 85 years now quite important suma, the two de Uquensina, or then soon. There were number soon, open soon, the Damanam or Dambound, and that is Nai, Bibasa, and two Numisunu.
Women and children in this community use the river water for all their domestic work. Despite the pollution from mining and washing in the river, residents drink this water without any treatment. Food vendors around here also source their water from the polluted river. Comfort Kwesi, who operates a small eatery, says she has no choice than to use the contaminated water to make food for sale.
I say, Nana, yes, I had Eddie Bibiara, and you saw baby. Papi away, Lina, say, Miss Nomba. It is here, and yes, I did Bibiala, and you saw Bibiala. Galamsey so what you want, I see when you walk. Then you what to clear. Yes, I near the alarm near the Atu. Here, dear.
23-year-old Innocent Mochia is unemployed and lives with his parents here. He complains about side effects whenever he uses the water from the Bultre River for bathing. He adds that he cannot afford to buy water.
Because one thing, it may be and now you soon so on and this also a Jumani Ghana had a make a Ghana and a Jumania. You must have widen.
Residents here are pleading with authorities to clamp down Galamsey activities soon in order to save their source of water, the Bultre River.
For the records, Honorable Nitiwo, the defense minister, when he spoke, he mentioned no name. And this, yes, no party names. And it reminds me of a popular saying by Chinua Achebe that the majority leader often quotes. When dry bones are mentioned, old women get worried. Sit down and listen. And I'm very happy when the minority leader challenged us that we will debate this matter and the culprit will be mentioned. In fact, we are ready to debate now. If we are to look and investigates both sides of the house. You have had the opportunity to rule this country before. I can tell you, you polluted the water more than us. You polluted the water more than us. So let's get matters straight.
We should invite any individual we have on video in this house who is promising the people of Ghana, especially the young people of Ghana, that if you vote for me, I would allow you to do Galamsey. Any politician who is inciting the young people of Ghana, I'll take you out of prison if you vote for me. Mr. Speaker, that is one sure way of ensuring that whichever government is in power can fight and make sure that this tanker is taken out of our body politics. We have the power to protect Ghana, and we have the power to protect our people, to protect the unborn ones. There are some things we can do politics with, but Galamsey should not be one of them. So, Mr. Speaker, I want all the people, I will provide evidence, videos of all the people, and we should invite them tomorrow to this house and make them answer publicly. Whether they are NDC, they are MPP, they are CPP, I don't care.
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our job, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirtied, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. Inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
All right, a very good morning to you and you're welcome to the program. It's Good Morning Ghana, and thank God for giving us yet another day to go through the issues of the country. Let's start with the headlines of the newspapers, and with the Daily Graphic it says, declare national emergency on Galamsey. Professor Ade to President Akufo-Addo. Consumer Protection Bill needs urgent attention, urgency. Pay 150,000 to 6 election violence victims. Court. 39 pick-up presidential forms. Basic schools reopen Tuesday. Ghanaian Times. Let's address global cyber security threats, and that's the big one on the front page of the Ghanaian Times. To safeguard citizens' digital future. Communications Digitalization Minister. Bondholders urged to participate in exchange offer exercise. We also have carelessness, negligence cause of increased fire outbreaks in cases in Upper West Region. Fire outbreak cases in Upper West Region. GNFS. Parliament approves $250 million facility for energy sector recovery program. Daily Guide. Baumia promises SME bank for traders. Another student killed. Parliament okays $250 million IDA loan. 4 Ghanaians convicted for smuggling €4.5 cannabis to UK. MPs backtrack on Sirens speed limit law. The New Crusading Guide. Baumia outlines bold strategy to reduce cost of living. Owo We, Royal Council of Elders, set record straight over the true occupants of Osu stool. Continue adhering to COVID-19 safety protocols. Environment Minister. Business hot over container clearing fraud. Nyaho Tamaklo charges EC to produce credible electoral register. The top right corner coming up, receivers of the 23 savings and loans companies caught in double sales shady deals. The Insight. NDC 2024 Manifesto targets 10,000 businesses annually under a Jumera program. Alan challenges Veep Baumia to come clean on economic management role. Hundreds join Operation Recover all loot picketing at Finance Ministry. Hundreds join Operation Recover all loot picketing at Finance Ministry. 2 face accusation of duping businesswoman in the name of First Lady, but denying claim. APC picks Reverend Dr. Wolanyo Mensah as running mate. The Daily Statesman, Lands Minister, called for emergency meeting to crack down Galamsey. PMMC advocates investment in gold jewelry as store of value. Baumia unveils plan to reduce cost of living. And then the big one, free SHS or 24-hour disco. Oh. Okay, free SHS or 24-hour disco. Ghanaians urged to choose wisely on December 7. The New Finder. 1,000 jobs in 100 days. Electric vehicle company launches transformative initiative. Push for passage of consumer protection law. Telemedicine future of Ghana's healthcare delivery. MIF targets over $3 billion in assets. And then we also have Business and Financial Times. Multi betrays consumers with delayed legislation. CSOs. Our quality is at par. Professor Goski Alabi weighs in on private-public varsities standards. On electricity, ECG plans to halt importation of meters. Manifesto falls short on startup support, reports says so. And then in the future, time in the market versus timing the market. Another feature, diversifying portfolios for transgenerational wealth transfers. And that's it for the headlines of the newspapers. We'll take a break. We'll be back.
She's coming. She's coming! coming.
I know. Go to the pharmacy now.
She's coming. Oh. She's here.
Pay faster, pay safer, and pay easy with Momo app. Download now and pay with the QR code, merchant ID, and so much more.
In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fair missy way.
The patch of bantama.
Matasi.
Circle.
It's her smile.
The fresh breath.
Me, Jidi said we used to Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind. Cal 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim jom kasa. Kile hosing. Cal 360 did the one.
It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You will see so feeling kika when you know Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Cal, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Ama, nansi mi jeno wo bin enkoye kwao. Ama ma ye bohu se kontomra akija.
Nansi me hu se mi nyo wasima kura. Ama me kunu me into kwankwa. Oyiwa. Enye mo give us GC mixture and any capsules. Aye numbum en ho asem na mo kana. Ebua emma ene meme nyina. Ne ma wo ba ye obesima. Na be ma so aye bemesima. Ya, we be bua wuku. Ama ne giant sa wo de hye ne botum. Na wanyinya nanim ti sese ne oyi chokmo. GC mixture and a capsule.
A painful battle, one more menu for one and Quadawi if you do me.
Choose the perfect prize every week and stand to win your choice of exciting prizes. All to get more of what matters to you. Exclusive to Betway. Betway, get way more. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. No under 18.
Are you looking to own a prime piece of litigation-free land where you can put up your dream family home or your ideal getaway retreat within a luxurious estate? Then look no further. Welcome to Rehoboth Hills, where your dream of hassle-free land ownership comes to life. Acquire land devoid of multiple purchases, litigation, and land guard issues in a safe and secure gated community while enjoying the fabulous night view of Accra from the serene Ebri Mountains. Rehoboth Hills offers spacious plots that provide you with the ideal setting for your dream home and a valuable, safe investment for your future. The lands are located in the prime area of Ayarifa within our residential development Rehoboth Hills, overlooking the city of Accra and the Ebri Mountains. Our prices are very affordable and designed to fit your budget. We offer flexible payment terms, ensuring that you can invest in a valuable asset for the future. Contact us on 0244 764 499 or 0204 950 810 or visit our website at www.rehobothpropertiesgh.com. Rehoboth Properties, quality housing for all.
You're the answer to my prayers. You with me everywhere tonight.
The luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
Luckiest everywhere.
8K. Hey, you get an 8K. Get a packing so you have to come out. Wallahi. Hey, wait.
You go put it on his tab. This is my man.
Good luck.
Hey, the bill radio. We are star 712 hash. It's put your phone. I'm on dialing the magic numbers. Star 712 hash. Now welcome to the luckiest. And now with me at home ticket. You can buy for yourself or your loved one.
Mommy, tell mommy who's here.
You're buying for me, right?
Or who else?
Oh.
Let's choose buy tickets for others.
Love you, boo boo.
No, maybe straight to option 4.
Now, you need to buy tickets worth 50 Ghana to qualify. Yes, you can buy random or preferred tickets. I'm choosing random tickets. Listen, if you buy the random ticket, the system chooses a random number for you. But if you buy the preferred, you get to input your own preferred 5 digits. 5.
Baby, give me your 5 numbers.
And how much are we buying?
Babe, look at the body and buy you.
With your body,
Hey,
there, tread cautiously. Now follow the prompts and confirm. Now the luckiest.
The luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.
Cratchy, unemu bua unkoisha Dr. Ban uye denwa.
Oh, Mr. Yamfan come ami buru wa.
Mami do buru. Don't ya tell me ko bra. Mumi Yamfan ko Dr. Ban ho.
Dr. Ban o ya de.
Bra, se ban no mpemu adwuma, sasabro sro Dr. Ban oye.
Say ni kemi kwa na meka. Oh no mpemu nimdi onu na ye expert nya zanfo no. O akra eni kumasi no mpemu expert yen kan kire.
Welcome back to the program. It's Good Morning Ghana. Let me just quickly apologize to those of you who have maybe lost the feed on free-to-air streaming. You can join us on channel 277 on the DSTV. I'm sure they're looking into it to see if you can have it back on that platform as well. Also, we're streaming on Facebook, so as and when you have difficulties, join us there, either on Good Morning Ghana, also on Metro TV Ghana. Now, let me just remind you that it's been an awesome journey. That's over 15 years with MTN Momo service. It is definitely worth celebrating. That's why MTN is rewarding you with some amazing cash prizes to say thank you. Send money to MTN Momo user or make payments to MTN Momo merchants at no cost whatsoever, only on MTN. So go on, download the Momo app on App Store or Play Store and enjoy this. Just Momo it everywhere you go. Terms and conditions apply. Now, Kel 360 toothpaste is also asking if you're desperate of looking for the toothpaste that will take care of the whole family. It's Kel 360 toothpaste, which has been approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. Kel 360 toothpaste is good for children, adults, and also kids. And let your family be proud by constantly using the Kel 360 toothpaste. The toothpaste is another product from Samara Company Limited and producers of Sasso, and Kel 360 toothpaste also available on all markets, malls, and provision shops. Contact them for bulk purchase on 024-686-4798. Kel 360 toothpaste says happy smile. Now, let me remind you that Lift and Elevator is also still on the market for you. And if you don't want to worry no more, Lift and Elevators will cater for your problems. It's got you covered with the best portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators on the market. And it's also simple and self-supported, both for homes and offices. It can also lift your goods as well. Wheelchairs can be fitted in them. That's if you cannot walk or you can't stand and you still want wheelchairs fitted in them, you can. Maybe you're taking some item from downstairs to upstairs. Lift and Elevators will get all that done for you. It can be installed in only just 3 days. And Lift and Elevators is located at Sakumono. Call them on 020-535-515 or send them an email to elevators@gmail.com for consultations and best and easy vertical movements. Right. So this morning, a lot of you are looking forward to see lawyer Sammy Jemfi in the house, but sorry to apologize to you. He's a little under the weather, so is unable to make it. However, he's ably represented by their deputy youth organizer, Osman Ayaga. Osman, right? Right.
Yes.
Good morning to you. You're welcome. Your grace coming on.
You know, the economic pressure, the hardship in this current economy, and the looting, of course. So one is under immense pressure, stress, and frustration under the current MPP administration. So one cannot even afford to look good.
So grey is forced out by pressure. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, pressure also accounts to people's grey. Yeah, for mine. Kind of economic
because
pressure.
Early this year, I didn't see grey on your face. It's very surprising.
Pressure.
The word pressure is even tired. The word pressure is under pressure. Anyway, let me also welcome a lawyer who's also a member of the NPP communications team. Is an Esquire. Lawyer Ishak Ibrahim, who is also joining us here.
And add lawyer to my name.
Sorry, lawyer.
Add architect.
I'm sorry.
An architect.
Oh, you're an architect as well?
Oh, yes.
Oh, wow.
Since today mentioning titles, that's all.
Well, it's important because sometimes I'll delve into your area of expertise. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know you're an architect as well.
Yeah, I'm an architect.
I see. Thank you for the information.
Yeah, so you see the pressure?
Well, I mean, but within your architectural field, what have you been able to do for Ghana?
Well, I was part of the team that designed the e-blocks, but then I was working with AESL, so at least I've done something small for Ghana.
I just wanted to know how Ghana has benefited from the expertise. This one, I shut my mouth. Lawyer Ishak, you're welcome. Good morning to you.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning to you.
How's the NPP doing?
We are doing quite great. Yes, but before we launch into politics, let me use this opportunity to wish our students good luck for tomorrow examination. I think there's going to be a major examination taking place tomorrow. where people who are aspiring to become lawyers will take the entrance exams for the Macaulay Law School tomorrow.
Oh.
And we've got a group of students. In fact, I was helping them prepare them for the entrance examination. I just want to use the opportunity to wish them good luck and then to tell them to relax. Sometimes when you have much more stress, then it can be an opportunity to even fail. So it's just a matter of relax, get some good sleep and rest well, and then face it with confidence tomorrow. I'm sure at the end of the day, you'll be part of those who will be entering the law school. Having said that, I'm glad my colleague is here.
You know, as you were talking, I knew that in your head,
Yes.
you were saying, I wish you were part, Annie. This must be putting pressure on me that I need to go to law school. Yeah.
Yes, I remember, yes.
Yeah.
I'm glad, but I don't know that pressure gives gray hair. I usually know stress, and stress could be environmental, it could be others. You can see we've all gotten gray hair.
I just hope you're not drinking from any of the contaminated rivers. Because that's also giving us pressure.
Pressure,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, so one thing I've also noticed is that both political parties, you are all doing a mini press conferences on the manifesto. The NPP
Okay.
started yesterday,
Yes.
right?
I'm not aware of it now.
Oh, okay. Then
Yes.
that videos, in fact, we attended some of your
Okay, mini
presses,
press conference.
yeah,
Okay.
where the former.
I was very busy yesterday.
Okay.
Lecturing almost 3 classes. So, yes.
So you're giving briefs about manifestos. The NDC is doing same, but
Okay.
sometimes they mix it up with issues that they think they should raise
Okay.
with government, either corruption issues or
Yes.
things they are not happy about. Then they'll mix it
Yes.
up with it. But Osman, is that know what's going on?
Yes.
What's the purpose of, especially the manifestos? What's the purpose of the mini explanations that we're doing?
Annie, first and foremost, I want to say good morning to you and good morning to your cherished viewers. You would agree with me that when a party launches its manifesto, that entire event, it doesn't really go into detail how you seek to achieve those policies. You look at its implementation, strategic plans, how you seek to actually achieve them. So you realize that most of the time when you just do your manifesto line, most people are interested in the plan, the pageantry, and the enthusiasm that comes with it because it's a party activity. So it's incumbent on any serious political party to go into the policies one after the other to further explain to the Ghanaian people to get their buy-in. Because what is the essence of a manifesto if the people themselves don't even know what is in it or do not understand what's in your manifesto? Because very few people ordinarily would Google or go and download the NDC's manifesto or the NPP's manifesto and read it entirely. For we in the political space, we may do that, but hardly will you find a citizen who is under stress and under the pressure of this NPP administration want to waste his time in reading the manifesto. So it's incumbent on you, the political party, to take the manifesto and your ideas to the doorsteps of the people, because you are seeking to sell a product and that product is your policy. So it's incumbent on you to advertise whatever product you have and make sure the people understand to the minutest of detail what you seek to achieve, what you seek to do, and get their buy-in so as to get their votes. So the NDC started it first, and I just want to say congratulations to the National Communication Officer for such novelty. But today the NPP has also decided to copy it. That is understandable. They said it is possible for them to copy. We understand that. That is okay. And
They said it's possible to copy?
Yes, Miracle said it's possible for the NPP to copy the NDC. So I'm saying that they can be forgiven. And you realize that not only with the manifesto, digest, but you see that in this particular political year, this political space, the NDC has been the pace setters of most of the novel ideas. Don't forget, we started NDC 360, then the NPP copied with something. I don't know what Miracles calls it. I think it's Insight or something. We started with NDC 360 and NPP Miracles started something also close to that. No problem. But you realize that yes, they copied. Now we've started digesting our manifesto sector by sector, and they just started yesterday. So you would agree, and they actually launched their manifesto before us, but we started going sector by sector before them, and they decided to copy. But it's understandable if the NPP continues to copy the NPP continues to copy the NDC. Even the contents of their manifesto, they themselves have alluded to the fact that it is possible that they copied parts of the NDC's manifesto into the NPP's manifesto. So I can forgive them based on the fact that they once again have copied from us so far as sector by sector press conference and debriefing of the manifesto is concerned. So Annie, it is proper for us to continue to digest it. I just hope that beyond the Accra press conferences, we also go beyond to the various constituencies, whole town hall meetings. I believe our National Communication Officer and his team are capable, or more than capable, to go to various constituencies, go to various regions, try to break it down into various languages, try to go down there. People may want to see them down there, actually explain the manifesto, town hall meetings. People may want to ask questions that you further explain to them. So I just want to congratulate the National Communication Officer and his team for putting together such a very marvelous idea, and for they that have
copied. Is it yielding results?
Positive results, positive results, because people are actually following keenly and religiously to understand what we seek to sell and what we seek to do. So it's yielding immense results. That's I'm fed up advising. I think they should go beyond the Accra press conference and go to the various.
That every manifesto has its priorities, right?
Absolutely.
The oral, the NDC's oral.
Yes.
And then I'm going to go into it later with your picketing. That'll be later. Yes. But oral, 24-hour economy, which one is priority?
Well, they are both priority. It just depends on how you sell it and who actually identifies with which one of them. Because you cannot have one message cut across the political divide. Because people within the ages of 18 and 24, their interests are different for people between the ages of 24 and 34. Same with the different interests of people between the ages of 34, 55, and above. So for someone between the ages of 18 and 24, for him, 1 million coders is what will be a buy-in for him. For him, creating jobs for young people is what is of interest to him. For him, 24-hour economy may be what is be of interest to him. Maybe someone beyond or above the ages of 34. For him, what bothers him most is the looting of his toil, sweat, and suffering. He believes that I pay so much in taxes, I expect so much from government, so I don't expect government to loot what I have paid for, what I am working for. So every policy in the NDC's manifesto is of interest and national priority to the NDC. So we are not looking at projecting some above the others, though some particular group of people may identify with some. Some may be excited with the 24-hour economy. Another group may be excited with oral. Another group may be excited
the groups that are excited about whichever
yes.
one each. That's their choice.
Yes.
But you who's doing the implementation must know which one comes first, which is important for the people. Which one do I think that...
All is important
so
to
so the time you're, putting in structures to implement 24-hour economy, will be doing oral alongside. Should you win the elections?
It can be done.
It can be done.
Yes.
It's possible.
It will be done. Don't say it's possible with me. I want to give it is possible with the EPP.
Possible.
It is only possible when they decide to copy us. That it is possible, but it can be done, and it will be done because every single policy in the NDC's manifesto will be achieved, and we will do it simultaneously at the same time. We are not going to say we are waiting to implement 24-hour economy before we come to oral. No, from the word go, all policies in the NDC's manifestos will be worked on. They can be worked on because you don't need one person to work on every policy. Every sector is going to be busy with its own policy. Example, the issue of youth development. That will be an issue for Ministry for Youth to tackle with. Issues of roads. That will be an issue for Ministry of Roads to tackle with. 24-hour economy. That will be driven by the Ministry of Finance and other places. Issues of oral. Those would be dealt with the anti-corruption agencies, etc. So you realize that once the government hits the ground running, we can implement everything in the NDC's manifesto. And His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has promised that every single policy you find in the NDC's manifesto, 2024 elections, as soon as he wins, we are going to achieve every single policy in the NDC's manifesto, inshallah.
NDC to hold national economic dialogue in the first 120 days in office to reset Ghana's economy. This is what President Mahama said, former President Mahama said in Winneba when you launched your manifesto. So we don't expect that right from the word go, everything will be implemented. We're having, in the first 21 days, we're having an economic dialogue on how to reset, because you intend to reset anyway.
Yes.
So if you have to reset, it means that you really need to go back to the drawing board, sit down and discuss with the economic the technical know-how people, and then we decide on what to do.
And it doesn't mean that once you are having an economic dialogue, you cannot be having conversations about oral. It doesn't mean once you're having an economic dialogue, you cannot be having conversations about road construction. You cannot be having conversations about youth development. They can be done simultaneously.
Okay.
They can be done concurrently. That's what I meant, that it will be done.
Okay. Dr. Shak, I don't know why I keep calling you doctor. Yeah.
Okay, good morning.
Maybe as you're pushing me to become a lawyer, I'm also pushing you to become a
to
doctor.
become a doctor,
Yeah.
yes. Inshallah. Some of them have been taught that when you're about to start, this is how you start. And that tells me the NDC is truly living to its socialist, communist style of doing things. Why do I say that? Things are taught to be repeated and repeated with the hope that people buy into them. But I'm just hoping that listeners will not buy into them. Having said that, let's come to the manifestos. Why there's a need to keep explaining aspects of the manifestos to citizens. As Chachi Carter said the other day, that political parties will need to explain the manifestos and tell us how they are really going to implement them. Because I believe to be able to vote for the right party, you need to have enough knowledge about what the political parties are offering you so that you can make an informed decision. And I think this is how a proper democracy should be functioning. It is not only the electorate. Sometimes even the flag bearers will need to be taught their manifestos so that they can understand them properly. Because apparently from the explanation we are getting every day trickling in, some of the flag bearers do not even understand their very manifesto they've presented to Ghanaians. A good example is the NDC flag bearer. When he came out to say that NDC 24 hours economy would be implementing what he calls 24 hours nightclub. You ask yourself, what is a nightclub? Does a nightclub open 24 hours? It's called nightclub rightly because the name even tells you what it is. It's meant to be done in the night. Do you understand that? So if you were to say a club, that would even be better. If you say a nightclub, it tells me, do you really understand what a nightclub is? The next one is banks. Banks are already operating 24 hours in the sense that they don't have to be physically open. They open and close, then technology will take over. Some people, banks are even shutting down branches because the cost of running them is very high. Because most of the services they offer, people can already do them from home. You don't need to visit your branch. Do you understand that? You don't need to visit. So there are certain things that will be taken over by technology. Or what do they call it? Most of the things they talk about in a 24 hours economy, for example. Is it government that make decisions or business will make decisions to open 24 hours based on business needs? I believe what they should be talking about is creating the enabling environment to expand the private sector so that individuals will be able to make decisions whether I will need to open long hours or not. And that is how it's done elsewhere.
It's the same.
Eh?
It's the same they're
No,
offering.
so it's misleading to just say that we are creating 24 hours economy. It is misleading to the viewer to just say.
If you create the enabling environment
Yes.
for businesses to take advantage, how will you term it?
In that case, it's not a 24 hours policy. In that case, all the political party, the MPP, is already doing so. By, especially with our manifesto, creating a manifesto for jobs and business.
You force, then you force me to ask you the question that the MPP is also not being consistent, because when you have Dr. Bawumia saying it is not possible to run a 24-hour economy, and then yet at the same time, most of the communicators,
he doesn't say the whole thing.
Yes,
we already have a 24 hours
we have different videos of him saying different things about 24 hours economy, right? So at one point he says the MPP is already implementing, or 24-hour economy is already running in this country. Then at another point he says it's not possible. Then what are you saying?
It is always possible. I don't think the same Bawumia will be inconsistent.
Oh,
I think as far as Bawumia is concerned,
at some point he says it's not possible.
Tell him, I think his slogan is actually it is always possible. But what I'm saying is that I think the point he's making is that it is not everything that is worth opening 24 hours. What sense does it make to open the Ministry of Finance 24 hours or Ministry of Trade? What sense does that make? Which country do they open them 24 hours? But it makes sense to have a hotel that operates 24 hours. But it is not a government that decides for hotels whether to open 24 hours. It's a business need decided by the proprietors of the hotel. And it depends on where you are. If you are in Accra, you are opening 24 hours. It makes sense that if you are in Wale Wale or some aspect of maybe Kumbungu or some Navarungo, where there is no clients.
But do you agree that there are some businesses not operating 24 hours, not because there's no demand for it, but because they are unable, there's not the enabling environment for that business to thrive within 24 hours.
So when we say enabling,
but it can actually run 24 hours. So for example, they use the what's it called, the passport office as an example. Why can't we run passport office for 24 hours?
So for example, there could be a demand for passports, but it doesn't have to even be the office, maybe the operational sector where they are actually printed. And I won't be surprised if they are not already open in 24 hours.
They are not.
Where they print.
They are not.
I wouldn't know. Do you know?
Have you gone to the passport office weekends before?
I have never been to the passport office here.
Oh.
You see that?
You don't have a Ghana passport?
No, I have a Ghana passport, but you don't have to be physically present in the Ghana office here.
How do you take your pictures and your biometrics?
Oh, most of my Ghanaian passport, I've had it in the UK. And the time that I first had my Ghana passport, around 1998, we didn't.
You didn't have biometrics?
No, you just needed to fill the form and send it away. But what I'm saying is that I don't know whether they don't print it 24/7, but I'll be surprised if printing is not on continuous basis. So there's a need to continuously educate citizens on the manifestos and what it holds for them. Some of them are very misleading. Citizens are able to ask pertinent and important questions. And if they are not answered properly, that tells you as to whether the NDC is actually a pace setter. I mean, we know that is not true. You are not even the first person to release your manifesto. That's why you are an opposition. An opposition party should have actually been the first to release it, because you are supposed to tell Ghanaians that you are government in waiting and that you are ready, your ideas is ready. How do you wait till a government release, a party in government release a manifesto? Then you release yours, then you call yourself a pace setter. What kind of pace is that? I told the election we are going to, the most important thing is a manifesto. And if somebody is releasing it before you, that person is actually a pace setter. And then following that, the MPP, this flag bearer, had a press engagement to explain further what is in the manifesto. And even before the manifesto is released, he had a meeting at the UPSA where he has given us a snapshot of what is likely to be. I remember I was present there, and I remember him talking about the East levy will be scrapped. Now we are told that the E-levy was copied from the NDC. How does that being copied from the NDC? If somebody said, I'm going to scrap it.
Because the NDC said it first.
But have you checked your records? That the vice president, before E-levy was introduced, he had voiced his opposition to a possible levy on that particular sector. There is records.
Is that to say that the vice president was not in support of the E-levy?
I suspect he wouldn't have been, because I've not actually...
Okay, his spokesperson was on this platform.
Okay.
Gideon Boako.
Yes.
And attested to the fact that the vice president is in support of the E-levy.
He will say that. Let me explain to you why. In constitutional law, we have what we call a principle of collective responsibility. If you go to cabinet make a decision. Whether you are in support or not, you are deemed to be in support of it because of collective responsibility. It will be unethical for the vice president to come out to speak his opposition to what cabinet has decided.
So you are now actually making it clear to us that the vice president from the beginning has never been in support.
In the beginning, he was never. There was. I mean, he has made statements. And in fact, when the E-levy was being debated on, people were playing it. The NDC were playing what the vice president said before it was. I don't know what is in the vice. Let me make this clear. I don't know what is in the vice president's mind as to whether he opposed the E-levy that was implemented or not. I don't know what was agreed in Parliament in but we can do your statement that immediate engagement with the public when he became the flag bearer to say that he would scrap it. I don't think so. And it's also a fool who doesn't change their mind. So having implemented the e-levy, if it turned out that the way he saw it, let's assume he even supported it from the beginning, then after his operation for a few months, he realized that, look, what we thought it was going to work, it's not working. I'm going to withdraw it. It's only a fool who will not change their mind when the evidence is very clear. Can that be called copying? Another aspect, he tried to give us here, and other people have said that training 1 million youth on digital is also a copy work, because they mentioned coding.
In their 2020 manifesto.
Yes, they mentioned coding, and then perhaps 1 million is also mentioned. 1 million coding and 1 million digital skills. Is coding and digital skills one and the same? Coding is a subset of digital skills. Digital skills is much more comprehensive. So is it the digital skills is said to be a copy work or the coding? So frankly speaking, the two are not the same. One is a subset of the other. Now, is it the 1 million that we cannot think of, that we have to copy the word 1 million? I mean, so you can see that some of the charges are very frivolous. That if you want us to take you seriously as a government in waiting, some of those things you just have to ignore them. Otherwise, you will probably make our listeners think they are foolish. And I think that is one of the reasons why the NDC is not going to make impact in this election come 7th December. Because they are not seen to be, they have to be seen to be serious, and proposal they put forward, they really need to explain it proper. Especially their proposal to introduce free university education for first year level 100 students. Stress-free? Yes. I mean, were they not the very party? I don't know. 1999, 2000. It was the NDC that introduced what they call cost sharing. And there was a huge struggle of students with the NDC during the Rawlings era. I was a student of tertiary institution by then. We said it wasn't workable, it wasn't appropriate. And they said the burden on government was too much. We needed to take up cost sharing, that parents and government has to share cost. And again, they were the very party that introduced utility bills, asking students to pay utility bill. Not long ago, they said the burden on government was too much to provide allowances for teachers training students and nursing training students. Just because of political convenience, they realized that we have introduced free senior high school, and it's actually working. They jumped on it and said they were the very party that introduces first, and when that failed, then they are introducing this gimmick of free level 100. When they knew deep down that it's not a policy they are able to carry out, and even if they are going to carry it out, I believe as a universal lecturer, they are going to underfund us, and that will really be a problem. Now, as to their priorities, you asked about the priority, the first 100, the first few months as soon as they come to power. Our priority would be jobs. I believe that the enabling environment has already been created. We try to formalize the economy, because the Ghanaian economy, as you know, is heavily informal. So formalize the economy, make sure that you increase the number of people who will be paying taxes, then reduce the tax burden. As I said, there will be flat rates introduced.
Let me ask you, how difficult is it to formalize an economy?
It is a very difficult.
Because I have sat on many shows discussing expanding the tax net, formalizing the informal sector, and capturing a lot more revenue. It's been over 10 years. It's been over 15 years. It's difficult.
Because they were just talking about it. Most political parties, such as the NDC, were not actually taking proper steps. One thing would be the way we did the Ghana card. More and more Ghanaians are now captured in the data system. And the Ghana card has now been used, the number in the Ghana card has now been used as a tax code for Ghanaians. Through this way, we now know more and more people. People who used to be hiding, they are no longer going to hide. We are able to identify people. The next step is to find out what people do and whether they will be able to help them. There's no country in the world that can develop through borrowing alone. Citizens will need to actively contribute towards the taxation so that the tax burden on the other individual will be reduced. You can see that he struggled to explain what they would do in their first few months because they were already asking for a honeymoon. They asked for a honeymoon, the flag bearer, that when he wins, we should give him the opportunity to have a honeymoon. After that, they will do their conference or whatever they call it. How long does it take? It's 4 years. So before the honeymoon and a press conference, 1 year would have gone. It is really a proper way to start.
You don't think that the honeymoon has been taken out of context?
Oh, well, then he needs to explain it better.
Considering the current economic situation that we're in, which you admit that we're not in the best of times, whichever government takes over next year is not going to have it easy.
I agree with you.
You can't start implementing anything you want to implement no matter what. You really need to look into it and make sure you are doing the right thing, else you just plunge us into the hole.
Yes, so that is why you start immediately, but whatever plan. No, they shouldn't. He should actually be doing it in opposition. Because you are trying to convince us that you are ready to take over. Why would you take over and then plan something? Do it while you are in opposition and tell Ghanaians that you are ready. That's what we did. But you don't start by asking for a honeymoon. Honeymoon for what? And then said they've taken you out of context. What context? Then explain to us the context. Where are you going with the honeymoon? Is it Russia or North Korea?
I'm not surprised at my big brother here and a party that understands review as cancellation. I will not be surprised at the tangent he decided to go. I'll just tackle a bit on the plagiarism and the copying part. And I want to believe that he himself, being an MPP member, I don't think he has read the NPP's manifesto for their 2020 elections. Neither has he read that of the NDC's manifesto. I have taken the pains to read both manifestos, not once, not twice, not thrice. And in the NPP's manifesto, there is nothing there about coding, nothing there about digital training. That's the NPP's manifesto. In the NDC's manifesto, page 84 of the NDC's manifesto, and please listen attentively, my brother. 1 million coders program. This initiative will be implemented through a public-private partnership to provide free training to 1 million youth with knowledge and skills for A, coding and programming.
Is that from the comprehensive manifesto?
No, this 2020 manifesto, not 2024. Yes, I'm taking him back for him to know how they copied the NDC's manifesto. B, web development, apps development, etc. Expand opportunities in the knowledge and ICT-based economy. What is the difference between ICT-based, putting all this together, and saying digitization? You have simply copied and tried to change the name.
But why are you making the copying a big deal?
No, I don't know why they are making it. There's nothing wrong if you copy from the NDC.
Because for me,
there's absolutely nothing wrong if you copy from the NDC. If we thought about this way back in 2020, and you have now decided to copy it today, we can pardon you for that. That's not. They should just accept it. Eat the humble pie and say that, yes, we copied. Most of their competitors have accepted they copied from the NDC's manifesto. So they should understand that we are much more superior party as far as manifesto is concerned. Now, he speaks about the fact that he went round saying, if we are setting the pace, why didn't we launch our manifesto first? I mean, the issue of time, you realize that we even announced that we were launching our manifesto in August, before they did. And they decided to quickly launch their manifesto before us. No problem. We thought there was going to be something better out of that manifesto. You're reading too many meanings.
You're being too critical. Overly unnecessary.
I should be critical.
I mean, I'm just saying that you just ignore and use the best time that you have to sell your message.
Thank you.
No, because I need to also draw the attention to most of the untruth that he has decided to set out there. And what we need to understand is that in this current election, in this current process, and this dispensation, the NDC has been the pace setters as far as this election is concerned.
Okay.
The pace setters in terms of policies, the pace setters in terms of what we seek to achieve and what we seek to do. But all they have done is to continue to lie and lie and lie to the Ghanaian people. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is promising young to this country. And of course, the game changer, 24-hour economy. The MPP, no matter how we explain it to them, they will simply decide not to understand the 24-hour.
Let me ask this question for both. It goes to two-way. For both of you, I mean. We're in 2024. Where do you both want to see Ghana by 2030? Each of you can answer. I mean,
Yes.
lawyer, I'll start with you.
So by 2030, so
where do you want to see Ghana?
That means just about 6
years
from now. I think by then we would have actually succeeded in formalizing the economy if we are in government to bring more people on board and drive Ghana towards a middle income earning country, where citizens employment
by 2030.
Yes, by
you want
2030,
to be driving Ghana
towards
the middle
yes,
income
yes.
by 2030.
You remember they had Vision 2020.
No, hold on. You would have already driven Ghana to the middle income status, or you want to be driving Ghana towards there by 2030.
6 years in government is a short period of time. If without formalizing this our economy proper and bring more people on board towards to contribute towards tax, whilst reducing the tax burden on businesses, to actually incentivize them to set up more, to employ more people, we are not getting anywhere. I am not the main policy setter, but what I think is that if we are able to implement our current manifesto, where our focus is on creating jobs and then businesses, with this unemployment level that we inherited, we would have provided more job opportunities for our youth. Yes. If we are able to, look, as I said, the economy is now, we know as it is now, because of these external forces that has forced us into this particular situation, we are now on a way to recovery. And as I said, if we implement this current manifesto, and then our focus is on the jobs and the business and the incentive that we want to give into the private sector. I think from what I read in the manifesto, 5% will be diverted to the private sector to help grow the private sector. I think that translates to something like 30 billion to help with the private sector. I think it will be in a proper place to take off. But as compared to what they are offering, they are not able to explain it proper for our understanding.
Okay, I just want to understand where you want to see Ghana by 2030.
Okay. Yes.
Usman.
Annie, the most important thing and where I expect to see Ghana is we should have better economic space. That's one. Two, I don't expect to have 1.9 million unemployed youth. For me, that is critical and that is important. And of course, we should have a much more better economic enabling environment. For me, an enabling economic environment is the best game you can ever have. Because whatever you do, whatever business you decide to do, whatever your hustle is, whatever your job is, it boils down to the economy. It boils down to the issues of prices of food and services. It boils down to the issues of bread and butter. Because we cannot be living in a country where you take inflation at about 54% and bring it out to about 21% and say you must be applauded. We cannot be living in a country where everything is all about blaming Russia, Ukraine, COVID, etc. When we know as a result of COVID, we actually made more money in this country. We actually received more funds in this country. So meaning that we actually benefited more from that same epidemic. We keep blaming Russia, Ukraine. Today, Ukraine is even doing much, much better in terms of its economic indicators than Ghana. Talk about their inflation rate, 5%. Talk about their growth rate, etc. They are even much, much better than Ghana. That not even a single bomb landed here. However, we wake up every morning and all we can blame on is Russia, Ukraine. When in fact, the main problem or the bold problem we can find is in their own economic mismanagement. It's in their own flag bearer and their own president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and his running mate, Mahmoud Bawumia, who was touted as an economic waste kid. For Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, he can be forgiven. He has already told us, times without number, that his knowledge, so far as the economy is concerned, is limited. So he was going to bring his brother or his friend from the Bank of Ghana, who was come with all the brains, come with all the intellect, to take us to a better place and to salvage this economy. What do we get? Complaints, and they continue to shift the goalposts. And the most annoying thing of all is that they are not even in the place to accept responsibility or take responsibility and even apologize to the good people of this country. They started by blaming His Excellency John Dramani Mahama within their first 2 years of government. After that, they found a conducive or a convenient avenue to complain about COVID. Right after COVID, they hooked on to Russia, Ukraine, meaning that under this NPP administration, nobody is responsible for this current mess. And he spoke about the issue of employment and unemployment and how it's affecting us and how it wasn't also their fault. Annie, unemployment rate under the NDC was just around 8%. Today, 1.9 million youth do not have jobs. And the most insulting part of it is that the vice president and the president and their employment ministers look into our eyes and lie to us that they have created millions of jobs. The vice president tells us they've created 2.1 million jobs. The president himself tells us they've created 2.3 million jobs. Their own employment minister tells us they've created 5.5 million jobs. When you look at the MPP's manifesto, and that's why I have a problem with the MPP communicators, they don't read even their own manifesto. Look at the MPP's manifesto, page 8 and 9. Look at it, they tell that they created 2.1 million jobs. The 2020 manifesto, they say they created 2.1 million jobs. And in those 2.1 million jobs, and you know what they do? They tell you we created 2.1 million jobs, such as NAPCO, planting for food and jobs. You and I know that NAPCO trainees are at home. They do not have jobs. So how then do you count someone sitting at home as having a job? NAPCO has never been a job. All they told us was that NAPCO was a stopgap measure, making people employable. Today, NAPCO trainees are at home, but they are being counted as part of the 2.1 million people they say they have created. So you see, Annie, the deception and the lies in the NPP government is one that we have taken so much that we cannot take anymore. And the Ghanaian people are wide awake. They have been able to see the lies through Baumia. They've been able to see the lies through the NPP. And they've seen the lies through their own communicators and how they've decided to always lie every morning. And it's as if there's a script for them. Once you wake up every morning, the only thing you have to say is that Ghanaians don't understand 24-hour economy. Ghanaians don't understand the NDC's policies. Who told you Ghanaians do not understand the NDC's policies? They clearly understand the NDC's policies. They have bought into the NDC's policies. And they are not convinced by your own lies and deception. So, Annie, for us, we want to see Ghana in 2030 in a better place. A better place in terms of the economy, a better place in terms of infrastructure, a better place in terms of employment. And of course, that can only happen if we reset the current mess we find ourselves in that has been duly designed and orchestrated by this current NPP administration.
All right. You want to say something?
Yeah, I want to respond to him.
Minute.
Yes. It's very interesting he's presenting John Mahama like he's a new Messiah come. We have seen him already, 4 years.
Okay.
We have seen him 4 years. We have not seen Brahumia being president before. When he left, what was the state of the economy? We inherited IMF program. So it's not like a president we haven't seen before. During his time, employment in the public sector was frozen. It was not like he was creating jobs, giving it everywhere when it was inherited. Employment was actually frozen in the public sector.
But what was the unemployment rate?
By the time he left,
employment was frozen.
Yes.
What was the unemployment rate?
I'm not sure. He claimed it's 8%.
No, but what do you know?
I don't know what was the rate. I mean,
unemployment
with the way you even presenting, data from you cannot even be trusted.
No, okay, so what is your figure?
It's not data from him.
Data from him cannot be trusted. I don't know the unemployment rate.
But what I know for the unemployment rate.
But I mean, I don't know the unemployment rate during John Mahama time.
Maybe for me, you trust.
Okay, you.
But
it doesn't change the fact that employment was frozen during John Mahama time. Employment was frozen for years in the public sector. It doesn't change that fact. Whatever, regardless of whatever the rate was, the youth was denying jobs because there was no job for them. And aside that, the Ghana was having IMF program. The NPP inherited IMF program from them. So it's not like a new person who is coming. We have already seen his working. History tells us that for us to know the future, we could use the past to predict what we have in the future. And he has already told us the snapshots of what he's likely to do in the future. He would tell us he would do this, and when he comes, he will repeat the old stuff. The 8 years have not changed him. We've seen him work 4 years. We rightly judge him that the team that he assembled around him and he himself were incompetent. Ghanaians said so. And that was why they denied him the 4 years.
Ghanaians says what?
That he was incompetent.
Which Ghanaians?
Ghanaians, all of us together, our verdict. Our verdict by saying that we wouldn't give him another 4 years.
It was Dr. Baumia that gave him the tag.
No, Baumia,
and then his followers bought into it.
Listen, Baumia was merely a spokesperson of Ghanaians collectively.
Do you agree that he was the first person to have call him that name?
I understand that, but Baumia wasn't calling him his name. He was rightly describing who he was. He was rightly describing him, and Ghanaians agree with that verdict that he and his team were incompetent and that he did not deserve another 4 years. And that there was a need for him to go to opposition. The NDC did not learn that lesson. They presented him again, and Ghanaians gave their verdict that 4 years, he has not learned anything.
Okay, let me do just a quick one. So we've had this issue running for some 3 days now. The education. The issue of death in...
Andy, but let me react.
No.
Just 30 seconds.
Oh, I thought you were
just 30 seconds.
No, lawyer, I'm sorry.
Oh, you see, I have a problem.
No, lawyer.
When I'm on set with a colleague lawyer who hasn't read.
I'm sorry.
He agrees that... You see, I already said
I'm
that
sorry.
the problem I have with NPP...
You are telling your learned friend that he hasn't read.
Yes, because if he has read, he will know what the unemployment rate was. If he has read, he will know what the unemployment rate was.
He responded before I responded.
I am cooking figures.
Okay.
He has been unable to tell us.
He has had his chance.
He knows the unemployment. He knows. He doesn't have. He knows.
He knows. He doesn't know.
I said he knows.
So he says.
Let's move on. He has had his chance.
You know.
And everybody should have a sense of fairness.
You know the unemployment
I don't know what was the rate, but what
it was 8%.
I told you
it was 8%.
So I actually quoted him, and he said 8%.
Yes, and you said data coming from him, you can't trust it.
What was a fact is that unemployment was frozen during that time. Is it a fact?
Where did you read that one from? Where did you read that from?
From my reading. I was present.
So you read.
I was present.
Hold on. You read the conditions of frozen unemployment, and you didn't read the unemployment percentage.
What I'm telling you that I know for a fact that and public sector employment hasn't been frozen now.
It doesn't matter what rate it is.
Okay, let me put this in the history of this country. You have IMF staff sitting at the Bank of Ghana office to make sure that we don't print further money.
Yes, yes. Okay, thank you. But the issue of GES.
Yes.
So I don't know if I should say I called out.
Yes.
Sort of mentioned, asked if the president, the vice president, the Ghana Education Service have not heard what happened in O'Reilly Secondary School. And by evening, after my question, GES released a statement.
A statement.
So it said GES commiserates with the family of the deceased O'Reilly SHS student. The Ghana Education Service is deeply saddened by the tragic incident that occurred at O'Reilly Senior High School, resulting in the loss of a final year student, Master Edward Saki. Our thoughts and condolences go out to the bereaved family, friends, and the entire school community. Today, 4th of September 2024, the Director General of the Ghana Education Service led a team to visit the school and the deceased family to commiserate with them. So we will continue to support the school and assure the public that we are working closely with the relevant authorities to ensure a thorough investigation. We hope to conclude our administrative investigations within 2 weeks while the police service handles the criminal investigation. We're pleased to report that calm has been restored on the campus, and we are working to ensure the well-being and safety of all students and staff. GES remains committed to providing a secure and conducive learning environment for all students. We will continue to work tirelessly to prevent such incidents and ensure our schools remain safe spaces for academic excellence. We urge the public to refrain from speculations and allow the investigative process to unfold. We will provide updates as necessary. And then once again, we assure our deepest condolences. We express our deepest condolences to the affected family and the school community. Cassandra Chumampofo, Head of Public Relations Officer, signed the statement. Let me have you, I was trying to go through both of your manifestos, just a brief version of what education says. We'll get into it, but I'll give you the chance to comment at least on this issue that came up. Usman, I'll start with you this time.
Yes, this issue has been a very bizarre one, and I think issues of secondary education and the security around secondary education, especially teachers, housemasters, housemistresses, need to be taken more seriously. Most especially in this country, when we talk about mental health, people sometimes try to think that once you speak about mental health, it just has to be someone who is quote-unquote mad. But it usually isn't the case. A high level of aggression or has to do with mental health, depression, people having suicidal tendencies, etc., etc. All of those things culminate or come together to speak about mental health. And I think as a country, we haven't really taken issues of mental health seriously. I've seen some NGOs try to advocate on mental health. And I think the issue also has to do with the stigma associated with it. Especially in our society, once you talk about mental health, they think that you're talking about someone who is mad. But you and I know, sometimes even...
Who is mentally challenged.
Mentally challenged, yes, sorry, mentally challenged. You and I know, sometimes even very petty issues, maybe even being broke can affect you mentally. Sometimes broken hearts can affect you mentally. Sometimes even not being employed can affect you mentally. And even this current economic environment can affect people mentally because they just cannot make ends meet. All these things have to do with mental health issues. And I also want to call on most of the NGOs who advocate for mental health to also take serious interest in some of these issues. Key amongst the policies within the NDC manifesto that also looks at secondary education, looking at establishing sick-based centers on every campus. This is to also employ at least a resident doctor or a resident nurse so that we can have 24-hour services within the schools. Remember, aside from this current issue which had to do with the stabbing, we also had health issues, I think somewhere in Ibri Girls, where the young lady was sick, the student was sick for some time. So the first thing has to do with what health facilities are we putting at the various secondary schools. And we have it in the NDC's manifesto that we're going to have the sick-based centers. So it's like a mini chip compound. It's not something that is not going to be like Agenda 111 where you promise and you cannot do. It's something small that we'll be able to achieve and actually build. So that is the first thing we're going to do as far as secondary education is concerned. And we think that the issues of security, especially around the secondary education and these young people, also needs to be looked at. Most of the things that happen within the secondary schools is quite unfortunate. And the authorities, of course, also need to be a bit more cautious and a bit more stricter so far as these students are concerned, because parents have brought their wards to school and they expect that you serving as their guardians on campus should be able to take care of them and be able to make sure that they are in safe hands, and all of those things should be looked at. So I would just also commiserate with the family. I don't think it's not justifiable in any way that you take your ward to school and just to come back and in a body bag. It's disheartening and it's sad. And I just hope that it doesn't happen again. So GES and the Ministry of Education should start looking into some of these things. They need to look more into the activities on campus. They need to look into how students actually live, what is causing these things. Because, you know, in other countries, you would also realize that some of these mental health issues, actually, you hear a student has picked a gun and has gone to, you know, shoot sporadic shooting across their classrooms, shooting innocent students. So if you started experiencing some of these things, we need to take our security more seriously. The teachers need to be more vigilant, and we also need to, at a point, also look at the issues of mental health. Because you see, if you have
involved in the scuffle, the teachers, some of them were there, and they actually were looking on.
Yes, so you see that it's a collective.
Yes, I think I would like to first of all express my condolences to the family and of course to the school. It's quite a distressing period for any family to go through. As he rightly said, if you send your wards to school, your hope is that they will learn and become better people in the future and not to receive them in body bags. And it's quite distressing for any family to face it. And I can imagine how the family is feeling right now. Having said that, the statement that was released urged us not to speculate so much. Even though the story I read briefly last night tells us that they were arguing over whose father has more money, and that eventually led to the stabbing.
You see, it's the problem I have with institutions in this country.
Okay.
They leave so much space.
Yeah.
And silence, they create the silence as if they don't exist.
Okay.
As if they haven't heard.
Okay.
The moment, you see, we're in information age, and I think news even breaks on social media faster than even traditional media today.
Yes.
You cannot tell me that since this happened, you didn't hear until after 24 hours.
Yeah.
Sometimes the swift response will calm tempest and avoid all these speculations that you are trying to avoid us. Because if I don't hear you, who is responsible for that? What do you expect me to do?
So I think we know the one responsible, apparently a colleague who had stabbed him over some argument. But as the as the statement writer said, sometimes when investigation is ongoing, and then we begin to speculate so much, we may not get the right answers because the public themselves will be confused as to what exactly happens.
Because they are not experts. So if you are an expert, come and speak to us and let's know what you want us to do. So we keep quiet. I honestly, I don't succumb to speculation, advice, and directives. No.
So nevertheless, if it turned out to be mental health, already, learning is very stressful. And as you said, most of us are not privy to mental health information because we rightly think mental health people are those people on the streets. But as the World Health Organization said, health is not just the absence of infirmity, but financial, mental health, and all that. Some of the health things we cannot physically see. They are part of what promote our well-being. So I think when we were in secondary school, I think things would have even improved. Our time, we have a health prophet, and we have a teacher who was in charge of students' health. I'm not sure whether secondary school, we can equip them to the level they have clinic. I doubt that. But at least we should have a system that will identify people who need immediate help so that they can take them to the local clinic or the local hospital. So as I said, the statement urges us not to speculate too much and allow room for investigations. So when the facts come, maybe we'll be in a better position to comment further rather than adding to the speculations.
Okay, so the one story, I'll take a break, but let me read this before we go on that break. Another student killed. So barely 3 days after a student of the Worley Senior High School, Edward Bokete Saki, was stabbed to death, was stabbed to death by his mate. A level 300 student of the Akenteng Apiaminka University of Skills Training and Entrepreneurial Development has allegedly been killed as well. Now listen. The deceased, who has been identified by the police as Kingsley Ochre Nyako, 26, was said to have been slashed with a machete in his head by one Akwesi Yeboah, 34. Ochre Nyako reportedly bled profusely and was rushed to a nearby medical facility to save his life, but was declared dead during the treatment. The bloody incident happened at Bantama, a suburb of Kumasi in Ashanti region, around 7 p.m. on September 3, 2024, but what sparked the violence was not disclosed. Well, I read it somewhere that said that the one who carried out the attack, his wife complained that the deceased stole her bag and kept complaining. So out of anger, he decided to, fight for the wife, and did that in another website report I read yesterday. So that's what happened.
Okay.
All right, we have.
That's quite sad.
Yes, we have a problem on our hands. But let's take a breather. When we come back, picketing happened at the finance ministry. There was a clash between the members who did the picketing and the police officers. We'll be back shortly.
Okay.
She's coming. She's coming.
Oh, it's in. Red out receipt now.
Boss, let's go back.
Here, take this.
She's coming.
I know. Go to the pharmacy now.
She's coming. Oh.
She's here. Pay faster, pay safer, and pay easy with Momo app. Download now and pay with the QR code, merchant ID, and so much more.
Experience the enhanced protection of Star Motor Third Party Extra from Star Assurance, an enhanced motor third party insurance policy that provides cover for loss or damage to your vehicle's windscreens, side mirrors, back glass, and other glass components. Whether it's a crack or major damage, you can drive with the assurance that your vehicle is well protected. Our commitment to you includes affordable coverage options and a claims process that is both fast and straightforward, so you spend less time dealing with paperwork and more time on the road. Also, we have proudly partnered with Hope for Little Lives, an organization dedicated to supporting children in need. By choosing Star Motor Third Party Extra, you're protecting your vehicle and making a positive impact. Every policy you buy helps bring joy and support to children in underserved communities. Reach out to us now on our toll-free numbers 0800-177-177 or 0302-245-906 to sign up. Let us help you drive with peace of mind and purpose. Star Motor Third Party Extra. Drive with confidence, give back with heart.
Star Assurance, your solid partner.
Choose the perfect prize for you every week and stand to win your choice of exciting prizes, all to get more of what matters to you. Exclusive to Betway. Betway, get way more. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. No under 18.
In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Using Coa Mixture, Coa Plus Mixture, and Coa MT Mixture, brought to you by Coa Research and Manufacturing Limited Company, proudly made in Ghana. Formulated to support your general well-being. For those seeking immune system support, there is Coa Plus Mixture. Support your body's defenses and stay strong. When it comes to combating malaria, Coa MT Mixture will aid your treatments. For effective relief from malaria symptoms, try Coa MT Mixture. Coa Mixture, Coa Plus Mixture, and Coa MT Mixture are not recommended for pregnant women, lactating mothers and children under 12 years. Always take a malaria test before using Coa MT mixture. Choose Coa mixture, Coa plus mixture, and Coa MT mixture for your health needs. Available now at pharmacies nationwide. For bulk purchases, contact 0244 726611 or 0591 565 778. This advert is
anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fair missy way.
The patch of Bantama.
Matias.
It's her smile, the fresh breath. Me, Gidi said we use Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind. Cal 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim Jom Kasan. Kile Hossein.
Cal 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You will see so feeling Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Cal, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Now let me tell you why you should choose Safari Valley as your conference destination.
The new conference building combines modern amenities with the tranquility of nature, providing the perfect backdrop for your next seminar and corporate retreat.
The only conference destination with so many activities. You don't have to travel to visit your tennis club, the gym, or the stables. They have it all.
Enjoy this rooftop viewing deck, basking in the sunlight with the sight of wild animals roaming freely in their natural habitat.
At my break, I'm able to practice my putting.
It's a unique experience that sparks creativity and rejuvenates the mind.
Visit Safari Valley Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
The luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere.
8K. Hey, you can get 8K. Get that packing so you have to come out. Wallahi. Hey, wait.
You go put it on his tab. This is my man. Good luck.
Hey, go bill radio. We have star 712. It's much more phone. I'm on dialing the magic numbers. Star 712. Now welcome to the luckiest. Aha, and now with me at home ticket. You can buy for yourself or your loved one.
Mommy, tell mommy who's here.
You're buying for me, right?
Or who else?
Oh.
Let's choose buy tickets for adults.
Love you, boo boo.
Maybe straight to option 4. Now, you need to buy tickets worth 50 Ghana to qualify. Yes, you can buy random or prefer ticket. I'm choosing random ticket. Listen, if you buy the random ticket, the system chooses a random number for you. But if you buy the preferred, you get to input your own preferred 5 digits. 5.
Baby, give me your 5 numbers.
And how much are we buying?
Babe, look at the body and buy you.
With your body,
Hey,
tread cautiously. Now follow the prompts and confirm. Now the luckiest.
The luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. T&Cs apply.
Hello, my name is Roland Walker. I'm here at Coastal Park. It's one of the many courts belonging to estate masters, and they are into service plots, property management, and luxury homes. And just in case you want to make that decision to invest into a landed property, estate masters is the right choice to make. If it is from an indenture, a site plan, you want it also barcoded, all is available. You might have heard about Chopoli. It's where we have the next cottage of estate masters. It is not only one of the thriving, but the most inviting landed property site for you also to invest in. We encourage you, do invest in the next cottage at Chopoli. It is just close to the yet to be demarcated airport. That also will be a valuable property for you to invest in.
You're welcome back to the program, and I still have two lawyers on the platform. Usman Ayaga, who is also an architect, and also I like that one. And also lawyer Ishak is also still with me here. Have you traveled recently? Or since school activities, you don't travel out no more?
Outside? No.
You are doing when you finish politics, campaigns?
No, I frequently go back to UK and come back, but not recently.
Not recently?
Yes,
okay.
but I go to North almost every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, all right. The North, eh?
Yes.
We'll do a different one later about the North.
It drives on a bad road to his hometown, so it's not. Yeah, they tell you it's
so today is Johnny Hughes' birthday. So Johnny Hughes of TV3.
You really love politics.
And 3FM. Yeah. That's a gentleman who is causing a lot of pain and agony. Yesterday he took Honorable Dompré to the cleaners. I don't know if I should say to the cleaners. but Honorable Dompré, try. Hey. Okay, so Johnny Hughes, happy birthday to you, and I hope that you enjoy the best of the day and continue to do your good work as well. But let me give you a public notice that's come from the Ghana Revenue Authority. It says electronic invoicing of value-added tax, implementation of phase 2. The Ghana Revenue Authority wishes, that's GRA, wishes to inform the general public, especially VAT-registered taxpayers, that the Commissioner General, in accordance with the VAT Act 2013, Act 870, as amended, is migrating additional 2,000 VAT-registered taxpayers onto the GRA's electronic invoicing system, referred to as e-VAT system. To facilitate the migration process, GRA will carry out series of stakeholder engagements to ensure a seamless implementation. The list of eligible VAT-registered taxpayers will also be published in the print media on the GRA website. Okay, so affected taxpayers should take notes and be guided accordingly. The GRA will be reached on toll-free on 0800 100 110 or WhatsApp on 055-299-0000 or 0200-631-664. You may also visit any of our tax service centers. Terms and conditions, of course, across the country for assistance will help you there. Commissioner General is the one that signed this. So please take notes just in case you are among the 2,000 taxpayers or VAT-registered taxpayers that will be affected to be moving to the e-VAT system. Now, let me also remind you that Betway is guaranteed to get more chances, to give you more chances to play. Betway says that you can pick your prizes unless you choose your preferred promotion to make a perfect sports bet every week, from payouts, boosts to cashback. Plus, you also stand a chance to choose your own prize, from the vouchers to electronics and grand prize of airline tickets. Visit betway.com.gh and find out more. Terms and conditions applied. It's also regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, play responsibly. Betway, get way more. Blue Jeans Energy Drink is also reminding you that for being on the market for 20 years, it gives you vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your system and energy, as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans Energy Drink is tested and tried and is indeed the best on the market. So contact them nationwide. Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 0208 128 190 or 05500 10000. Okay.
Yes, okay. And this group was
Operation Recover All Loot Brigade.
Yes, and this group was birthed or necessitated. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama stated in the manifesto that we're going to go after all persons who had looted money, whether property, or companies or through bloated contracts. So the youth of the party and the youth of Ghana felt it necessary that they kickstart the advocacy and the activism so far as oral was concerned. So it was just picked from the NDC's manifesto, and the youth of the country went or ran with it. So I think I need to take you through what happened before yesterday and yesterday. So somewhere last week, we held the first press conference, and we stated emphatically that amidst the many corruption cases, talk of PDS, talk of Cocoa Road contracts, talk of AFCON, talk of moving peanut, etc., etc., we were not going to sit back and just watch as youth of this country. We were going to kickstart the advocacy and activism of oral. As it stands now, we do not have the prosecutorial powers. So all we can do is advocate, all we can do is the activism, and in some cases, either you petition or you take the issue to court when it has to do with some contractual arrangements. You see, unlike the MPP, we would not sit back and say, if we implement everything now, what will we do when we come to power? So we have already started. We have so many things to do. We can do them now, and when we're given the power, we'll now continue to do them in a better way. Unlike their
demonstration.
No, the advocacy for oral. We are not going to say that we are waiting.
So this
we
is
come to power.
advocacy.
Yeah, this is advocacy and activism.
Of exposing corrupt
activities.
Okay.
Yes. So we are not going to say that we are waiting until we come to power before we start. We are waiting when we are given the nod. I mean, for you to expose corrupt activities, you don't have to wait till you're given the nod. Just as you're telling them, for you to scrap e-levy, for you to scrap bed tax, you don't need to be president before you can do. You currently are a member, number 2 of a government. So you should be able to do most of the things you say you want to do, but you're unable to do them.
Yesterday,
so we can understand that. So
the honorable member, former majority leader, Osechi Mensah-Bonsu, actually said that the vice president, as a head of the economic management team, is only an advisor. He's not the final person that takes decision.
But if
and that is in the explanation of the manifesto that has been introduced by the MPP.
Yeah, this continuous attempt to shield the vice president from the current mess, and I love what they're doing, but what they do not know is that they are damaging themselves, because now they want us, or they agree with us in principle, that we all find ourselves in a mess. However, they are trying very hard to extricate the vice president from the current mess. So the first agreement for me, and what gives me joy, is the fact that we all agree that we are in a complete mess. But they are now trying to take the vice president out of the current mess and say that he's not part of the current mess. But Ghanaians know, and they understand that he is part of the mess, and he himself is the mess, and he is the bold problem that we now as Ghanaians need to find bold solutions to. So they should stop touting that they are the bold solution. They are the bold problems, and you and I as Ghanaians now need to find bold solutions too. So Oral Brigade was birthed out of the NDC's manifesto. And I want to use your medium to thank the thousands of Ghanaian youth who came out in their numbers to picket at the Ministry of Finance. To be very honest with you, we announced that we are going on a picketing. And in this country, when you talk about picketing, in most cases, it's just about a few people, maybe 100, 200 people just come out and you picket. But I realized the organic movement of people across the length and breadth of this country who came in their numbers. And by the time I realized it was as massive as a demonstration, we didn't plan a demonstration, it was a picketing. So we're just going to sit there and present our petition, just a few numbers. By the time we realized we're well over 1,000 or 2,000 people. So it actually now looks like a mammoth demonstration. So I just want to thank the Ghanaian youth who came out organically, because they are angry with the current mess that the MPP has plunged this country into. The current thievery, the stealing, the wanton dissipation of state assets, and the total disregard for the laws that govern this country. So we got to the Ministry of Finance, I think somewhere around 11 a.m. We converged at the National Theatre and we just walked peacefully and quietly to the Ministry of Finance. So I've seen some videos circulating that we had a clash with the Ghana police. I wouldn't say it was a clash, but it was just a misunderstanding, and there were a few push and pull here and there. There were no casualties, no one was beaten, no one was hurt, nothing. It was just an issue of misunderstanding where there was a push and pull. So there was a barricade.
Did you notify the police before embarking on?
Yes, we notified the police. Okay. We had meetings with the police. We had, I think the last meeting we held with the police was on Tuesday. We had a meeting at the regional office at the police regional headquarters at Tudu. So the police had formed a barricade. And we had the understanding with the police that we're not going into the premises of the Ministry of Finance. Only the petitioners, I mean the leaders of the group, were going into the Ministry of Finance then to present the petition to the Minister for Finance. So when we got to the front of the Ministry of Finance, if you know how the Ministry of Finance looks like, so the police had barricaded the main road and not the gates into the Ministry of Finance. So the protesters felt that we are not going into the Ministry of Finance, but we want to be on the main road in front of the Ministry of Finance. But they had blocked us, I mean, a distance away. So before we, the leaders, even got there, those who were ahead of us had already, you know, in that encounter with the police, with a push and pull, push and pull. So when we got there, the police explained to us that, one, they didn't expect this number because they thought it was going to be a picketing, so about 100 or 200
exactly,
people.
But
and we already stated,
they are in
yes.
charge of security.
Yes,
they
yes.
pick intelligence.
Yes. So we already, in our letter to them, we told them that the picketing was just going to be a small picketing, about 200 people, because it was just...
underestimated your weight.
Not our weight, but I think we underestimated the suffering of the youth and how the youth actually
you underestimated your numbers.
how the youth are suffering and how they would respond to such a call. Because all we did was just, I mean, one press conference and the rest was on social media. If you're around, come, let's go pick it. And the numbers were impressive. They were super, super, super impressive. And I must say thank you to the youth of this country for coming out in their numbers. So when we got there, there was a scuffle. So we as the leaders then approached the police and we listened to their side of the argument. And we said, no problem. So we managed to calm them down. That no problem. Let's not go beyond the barricade. The most important activity we came here to do was to present a petition to the Minister of Finance. So we mounted the podium, we spoke to the crowd, they calmed down. We said we were going to present a petition only to the Minister of Finance or his deputy, nothing more, nothing less. We're not going to attend to or listen or present a petition to any security man. Such disrespect that happened to our members of parliament when they went to the POG. Then they sent someone who said he's a PRO. So we told him if he doesn't clear off, we'll deal with him. So he also decided to run away. I think he said he's a PRO. Also, we said, no, we're not going to take that kind of disrespect from anybody. So we said we're waiting for the minister. So we're there. We told them that if the minister or the deputy minister doesn't come out, we're going to sleep there and wait for them. Because they cannot come out of the office. We too cannot go in. So we're all going to sit there and we'll all wait. Yesterday we were determined to be staff of Ministry of Finance. If
I mean, it was picketing, so you could stay there.
Yeah, we could stay there. We could stay there. Yes, so we were ready to stay there. So then there were police commander for Greater Accra. He did a fantastic job. So he went into the building. He went all the way up to the minister's office, and they told the minister traveled. Then he checked with the deputy minister, said the deputy ministers were not around. So he then came back and said that, well, the minister, deputy ministers were not around. But we had picked intelligence that the deputy minister was there. But maybe upon hearing we're coming, he also decided to balance and not receive the petition. So I think he had left the premises before we
so
even
I'm not sure,
came.
but I'm sure Abena Osei should have been in Parliament at the time. And I'm sure Alex Ampabin should have been in the Eastern region because they are embarking on a town hall meeting. And he's with the Minister for Information and others. And so I am so sure that he was also there. Both deputies were not there. I'm not sure where
I think she was there before she went to Parliament, yes.
Okay.
But the minister himself is out of the country.
Okay.
So the police commander then came to explain to us, okay, the people you really want to present petition to, it's not as if they are around and don't want to come and receive the petition. They are simply out of the jurisdiction, not available. We said, okay, then we needed the next in command. So he then went up and went to bring down the chief director.
Okay.
Who then came out. So we spoke to the crowd and made them understand that, well, the minister is not around, the deputy minister is not around, but the next in command, if these political heads are unavailable, is the chief director. So she came down and received our petition.
But with political head, wouldn't he be the PRO rather?
No.
The chief director is...
No, the chief director is
public servant.
Yes, but it's also as powerful because in the absence of the minister, deputy minister, the chief directors who act. In fact, in most cases, even in the presence of even when the minister is around, there are certain things that the chief directors do because they are the technocrats and they are the civil servants. So we presented a petition to the chief director, and in fact, she didn't speak at all. She just said, well, she has received it, and her duty was to transmit it to the minister, which she would do. So we spoke, and we had people from other political parties. We had Solomon, who came from the Afrafrantor
That's the
party.
chief director?
Yes.
Okay. No, that's you.
Yeah, that's the chief director, the woman.
The woman, okay.
Yes, she received, yes. So we had people...
Or rather the lady.
Yes, sorry, the lady. Thank you. So we presented a petition there, and in that petition, we looked at two key things. And as I said, amidst the many corrupt activities and the stealing within this MPP administration, we looked at... Yes, we looked at two... Okay.
You're a lawyer, then.
No problem. No problem. No problem. You can use alleged. I will say it's stealing. I believe it's stealing. So we looked at two main things that has to do with the SML contract and the Auto Service Ghana Group contract. The Auto Service Ghana Group contract, we said that the Ministry of Finance should take necessary steps because they did the payment to the Auto Service Group of $10 million, of which the Auditor General Service report has said that there wasn't a value for money so far as that contract was concerned. So for such an award of a contract of over $34 million, when you do the computation, what it means is that for the servicing of each ambulance every year, it's going to cost the state about $133,000 and over dollars. And it simply doesn't make sense for you to tell us you want to service an ambulance for over $100,000
But the auto service
annually.
group payments,
Now,
when Okudze Toblakwa brought the issue out, I think his agenda was, first of all, to put a stop to the payments.
yes.
Has he succeeded, or he still continuing?
No, I think he petitioned the Special
Yes,
Prosecutor's
prosecutor,
Office, which they are
yes.
investigating.
Yes.
Yes, so we took to the streets to also continue with the activism and the advocacy.
Okay.
So once there's one leg, it's the Special Prosecutor, we also went through the route of the Ministry of Finance to petition that they take necessary steps to stop further payments and also try as much as possible to retrieve all money that were unduly paid. So of course, there should be a value for money auditing. If work has been done, you should be paid the value of the work that you have done and not way above the work you have done.
Okay.
And of course, yes.
So before I move to lawyer, did you achieve your aim yesterday?
No, it's a process. It's
Yes,
not.
but did
It's
you
not. It's
achieve,
not an
at least
event.
for yesterday?
Yes, for yesterday. Yes.
What do you wanted
yes.
to do?
Yes. Our picketing was successful. Our petition was presented, and we told them again that this is not a one-off thing, and we made it categorically clear to the chief director that this is not a one-off thing. And if you want to see us here again, and this time angrier, you will see us. So we expect
Any time
a
frame
swift-
for response?
No, you see, usually when you give people like this response, a time frame, maybe we want to hear from you within 2 weeks. A day to the 2 weeks, they can just issue a statement and leave it at that and not act on it.
Okay.
So we haven't given any time frame, but we told them that we want them to act as soon as possible. So as soon as possible can even be tomorrow. We can go back there. It can be the day after tomorrow. We need them to start acting as soon as possible. They shouldn't sleep on it. And we also announced that beyond looking at SML and the Auto Service Group, the next point of call was going to be the Jubilee House. We're going to pick it at the Jubilee House very soon. And this has to do with a lot of issues, most especially has to do with the state lands, the state capture, etc., etc. Okay. So oral is not just about a one-day event. It is a process that has come to stay, and we will continue to pick it. We will continue to demonstrate. Where we have to go to court, we will go to court. Where we have to petition the special prosecutor or any agency or anti-corruption body, we will do that. And where you have to hear of us on the streets too, you will hear of us. So the next point of call will be, and to the young people out there who are eager to fight corruption, who are eager to fight stealing, who are eager to fight the dissipation of our resources by a gang of MPP members who are only here to loot. This is the time for you to come out and fight for your right. This is the time for you, if you believe that you do not want to live in a country where as a result of corruption you're unable to have employment, as a result of corruption you cannot have good job, as a result of corruption you do not have the lifts in your hospitals working, you do not have hospital beds. It is for the youth of this country to rise up and fight for what is duly ours and fight against corruption.
Okay.
So the next destination will be the Jubilee House.
Jubilee House, okay.
Thank you very much. First of all, no one have doubts that Ghanaian citizens have a constitutional right to demonstrate for whatever they are not happy about. These rights are human rights guaranteed as far as the UDHR, the International Covenant of Civil and Political Rights. Government recognize that particular right. But in attempt to demonstrate, you must do it lawfully, and there are guidelines laid down as to how you can go about demonstrations. Whilst we want you to exercise your constitutional right, we want to make sure that other people's rights are respected. And a government in waiting or activists of a government in waiting, we need to take that into consideration when you are planning demonstration. You don't just pretend it's spontaneous, more and more people join, as you say, from your own questions. They are well aware, they were organizing it, and they know their numbers, and they need to notify the police. At least, I don't think if you have good intention, you really plan to demonstrate. It's a constitutional right. Police shouldn't stop you. Having said that, he said the reason why their demonstration is about corruption. Now, government is a human institution. Nobody doubts that in every government institution there's likely to be corrupt practices. It's not just Ghana. It's throughout the world. Human institutions, deals are concluded behind the scene or somehow. There will always be an element of corruption. Nobody doubts that. And not just Ghana, any other country or any other government. Just as in their government, there was issues of corruptions. And not even ordinary members, even the head of state himself was implicated in corruptions. For example, I'm not trying to drag us back to issues. If you look at the acquisition of the planes with Airbus, with government official one issues.
Hey, is that what
No, let me explain. I want to put this in the right perspective. The issues of corruption in just one place. There were implications. So even within their government, I mean, our very president, it was a very low point for me as a Ghanaian citizen when my president is asked point blank, have you ever taken bribe before? And you are hesitant, it takes time before you give a very emphatic answer. As a Ghanaian citizen, it troubled me at that particular time. So corruption is a reality. And that is why government has put in place institutions such as special prosecutor. And I believe, and the NDCs believe that the office of the special prosecutor is working because they believe that he has exonerated John Mahama. So as a citizen who is worried about corruption, I think the right place would be to petition the special prosecutor with more and more evidence rather than maybe try to cause disaffection of Ghanaian youth against the government by doing some kind of unlawful demonstration. At least it's working because they believe he was exonerated, even though he kept denying he was a government official one until it was made clear that he's indeed government official one. Then he then jumped in and said, okay, I've been exonerated. Now, having said that, I think there was a mention about whether Bawumia were being a chairman of the economic management team, whether he's actually in control of everything. I mean, as a lawyer, he should agree with me. Look at our 1992 constitution and tells me where real powers has been given to the vice president. Where in the 1992 constitution? I've not come across them. All the powers are invested in the president. At best, you can say the responsibility given to the vice president in our 1992 constitution is an advisory role or supportive role. And that is why he rightly described himself as a driver mate. The driver mate might suggest to the driver as to what route to take, but he doesn't necessarily have to take it. And if he refuses to listen to your advice, you are not the person to force the driver to go. But that is not to say that he wasn't part of government. But it is not, he cannot say my government as confidently as the president would say my government. But that is not to say that we don't admit that there are economic difficulties, and as they have rightly explained, even though he will not accept them, that external exigencies such as COVID-19 and the Russian-Ukraine war have impacted Ghana the way it shouldn't have been. And you can see from the COVID time, the president made it clear that, listen, we are facing exigencies. We know how to bring economies back to life, but we don't know how to bring people back to life. He was rightly celebrated across the world that what he said was a statesman. Look at the death that Italy recorded. Look at the deaths that Britain recorded and the United States. If you were a president and you hear about this amount of death occurring in various countries, what would you prioritize?
What has that got to do with the SML deal?
No, I'll explain.
And
No. We went off Bertrand. Why Bawumia might not be responsible. He said there is a big mess, and that we all agree it's a big mess. But that's not true. I'll never agree.
My point is that
I explain why there might be.
The purpose of their demonstration was not based on even just the challenges that we're facing. They're based on evidences available to them that there's been corrupt practices, and they were specific with the issues.
No, I backtrack because you asked a question as to Chairman Bonsu saying Bawumia was in charge. And he may mention that we are in a big mess, and that we all agree. I just want to make it clear to him that I don't agree with him. I accept there are economic difficulties, and I'm trying to throw explanation as to why we might have difficulties to the extent that we went to the IMF. His time they went to IMF when they never had those difficulties. So, yes, as I've already admitted, human institutions, you are bound to have certain corrupt practices. And that is why when you look at our manifesto, the Vice President have promised that we are going to have proactive measures. You don't have to wait till corruption occur. There are various means and ways you can even stop it before it even raise its head. And one of them would be, one of the techniques would be the Ghana card that has been introduced. Following the introduction and data measures with the Ghana card, the number of people they had through SNIT who were taking various forms of income, double incomes, was quite huge. In that respect, the government strategy is to invest more in those particular areas to reduce the human contact with government services. And when that is fully implemented, yes, corruption can never be eliminated. No country in the world have succeeded in eliminating it. But what you can do is to reduce it as much as possible. And I think the proactive measures being suggested is quite good. And I think they will work to reduce it.
What are the proactive measures?
Well, I've already told you about the Ghana card that was introduced, that they opposed. And it led to catching people who were taking double salaries.
The auto service ambulance deal.
Yes. And I say, if you have evidence about it, don't wait till you come to government.
Do you know the details of? You know the details.
Oh, I've heard those allegations. I've heard those allegations. But what I'm saying, no, the special prosecutor is working.
I'm sorry. How is Ghana card going to solve a problem like the what's it called, the procurement breaches that were recorded or that have been identified in the auto service?
So I have already explained it earlier. When you have such evidence, we have state institutions. We have EOCO there, we have the special prosecutor there. Some aspects is dealt by SHRAG. Petition them.
No. You said specifically that with the introduction of Ghana card.
No, what I'm saying is that aside having institutions that would deal with the actual occurrence
even before they occur.
But there will be proactive measures. So I am talking about corruption in general. There's a need to put proactive measures to deal with corruption in general. But if you have specific allegations, even though as a lawyer, our legal ethics tell us to even say alleged corruption. Because you can never be 100% sure, especially as you said, you are not in control. If you are not in control, and most of the corruption in Africa, trust me, some of them are perceptions. You see that? Some of them are perceptions. So if you are not in control, it is more advisable to say they are alleged corruption. So my point is that there are institutions created to deal with them. And those institutions are working. Because 2-3 weeks ago, they were celebrating the office of the special prosecutor. And their celebration tells me that the special prosecutor have operational independence. The president doesn't direct him what to do or what outcome does he expect. At least they have that level of confidence in the special prosecutor. Do you understand me? So yes, so there will be such bodies.
It is clear in the public that the special prosecutor itself is not the president's favorite today. Because of his commitment to his work. You've heard the special prosecutor himself speak to the public and how frustrated he sounds. Right? So obviously, the president is not happy with the work he's doing.
I don't think did he specifically mention the president's frustration?
You want him to specifically mention the president?
No, you see, look, I sympathize with the office of the special prosecutor. Corruption is difficult to fight. That is why in their government, they couldn't succeed in fighting it.
How?
Corruption is difficult. You are dealing with human institutions.
One of their
people
own.
with
They
permanent
prosecuted
interests.
one of their own when they were in government.
Who
Have you been
prosecuted
able to
one
do
of
that
their
before?
own?
When they were in government.
No, I'm not saying no prosecution has taken place. I just tell you that corruption, by its nature, is difficult to fight. Not just Ghana, any other country. Because sometimes even gathering the evidence is a problem.
Lawyer,
So,
my point is,
yes.
this point you're making,
Yes.
you knew that before you accused them of being corrupt.
Yes.
Right? Didn't you know this point?
No, you are saying that the special prosecutor is frustrated. I'm trying to explain his source of frustration. That
corruption is difficult
It
to
is
fight.
a hard. Well, he's expressing frustration simply because it is hard to fight.
Why did the first one resign?
Which one?
Martin Amidu.
Oh, I mean, I wish he had gone earlier because he was a complete failure. Again, another member of your party.
No, he was frustrated.
You see that?
His own
another
party.
member of your party.
But you
I wish he had gone
appointed him.
earlier.
You see?
Yeah, because we thought that would have brought more confidence and make him work harder.
The same MPP that
You see
appointed
that?
Martin Amidu, thinking he was going to come after NDC official or
how do you go after your members? Somebody who would appoint a member of your family. Somebody who appoint a member of your family.
Martin
No, I didn't
Amidu
just finish. You
realized
took over from me. I didn't finish.
I didn't see that.
No.
This one says,
I didn't.
good morning.
I didn't. You actually
this is
came
the
in.
video from Dr. Baumier's campaign team admitting of copying levy scrapping from the NDC. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
From Danka Upper East region, he sent me that, but he says, so per the MPP's man's analogy, and he's called Lawyer Ishak, it's a fool who doesn't change his mind. So Baumia, after introducing e-levy, says shall scrap it. But if the NDC introduced some payment policies in the universities and today also promises to scrap such fees, what's wrong with it? Actually, when he was talking, I thought about it, but I thought...
no, let me explain to him.
Sorry.
Okay.
Annie, good morning, please. Metro TV is not... I'm sorry, I'll give you... It's a technical problem. Please, all of you that are complaining on the free-to-air, I apologize. We're currently experiencing technical difficulties that are affecting our transmission on the national DTT platform. So we apologize for the inconvenience. This has caused NR. The team is working diligently to resolve the issue as soon as possible. So this is for my technical team. So please apologies if you're not getting us on the main screen, the free-to-air DTT platform. Annie, let me use your platform to congratulate the Operation Recover All Loot Brigade Protect for your unwavering dedication and relentless effort to expose the corruption, state capture and nepotism that are plaguing our country. Your commitment to protecting our country's resources and drawing global attention to these critical issues is also commendable. Julius, Musa Batwa, you sent that in. Chumbofo says that, I'm glad, Annie, please ask the MPP lawyer whether employment in the public sector is frozen now by the IMF. It was part of the current conditions of the new bailout. For the first time in our country's history, the IMF and the World Bank have stationed an officer at the BOG, at Finance Ministry, to stop the BOG from printing money with HP printers. There is a second round of haircuts coming. This time, private banks and long-suffering construction companies have been targeted. We all know that any haircuts on private banks will bounce back to the consumers. This government simply needs to go. I'm glad he called us a government in waiting. We are indeed. Now, Jobata says that... Okay, Jobata, I've seen your message. Let me just... The messages are a lot, but... Let me use this. We'll round up shortly, but is my trans guy in? If not, just 2 minutes each on Galamsey.
Oh.
Or you wanted to do some responses? Osman, okay, go ahead. I'll give you the chance. It's fine. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes. Clearly, my big brother here and learned friend, you realize that he says a lot of things. By the end of the day, we are unable to actually find out what he's trying to say. You see, we spoke about the issue of SNL. He went round, spoke about Ghana card, this, that, and in fact, we're all trying to understand what he was trying to say. But for me, what he said that pricked me that I needed to respond to is their continuous attempt to take John Dramani Mahama, a squeaky clean gentleman, as being corrupt. Really? This shouldn't be. No, this shouldn't be. No.
So Prosper sent me a very interesting one.
This shouldn't.
Okay. Remember you said Ghanaians were calling former President Mahama incompetent.
Yes.
Prosper says, Annie, are Ghanaians saying now
I said they are vetted.
that Bawumia is a liar?
No.
Not trustworthy and super incompetent person. His logic is flawed.
No, it's not logic. I said their verdict.
Their verdict.
Yes.
Their voting verdict.
Their voting verdict say he was incompetent.
Okay.
I mean, that was clear.
Okay, okay.
Is Prosper not getting that?
Okay, I think he's gotten that now.
Yeah, their verdict.
Okay.
Annie.
Osman, sorry to interact here.
Yes. If my brother decides to...
I know we're talking Galamsey.
Well, he's responding to your issues.
I have to respond to a few things. If our brother here and the MPP continue to delve in the area of conjecture and casting insinuations about corruption of the persona of John Dramani Mahama, if we want to go on that tangent, we will crash the MPP. That I can tell them for sure. But Annie, were we not in this same country when someone said the president was in his pocket? Were we not in this same country when Namtechi, in a video, in an analysis expose, said the president was in his pocket? Were we not in this same country when the president was seen taking brown envelope purported to be $40,000, and he was even trying to snatch the money from the person who was giving the money because it was believed that it was bribe? Were we not in this same country? So you don't get up all of a sudden and try to cast insinuations as if John Dramani Mahama is corrupt. The gentleman is squeaky clean, and whatever you do, it will not stick. As for Bawumia, John Mahama has sent a warning that every government official, if you're a man like him who stayed in this country for 8 years, all through the investigations, we are begging Bawumia to please stay in this country after he loses the elections. The issue of PDS is coming. He will be investigated in his involvement with the PDS scandal. We haven't forgotten. In fact, the issue of his brother's own bloated contracts would be investigated. And if it is found that he played a role in one way or the other in influencing his brother receiving bloated contracts, he will not be forgiven. In fact, even the issue of his wife's brother, who also received government scholarships and didn't go and chop the money in Accra here and is receiving salary, all those issues will be investigated. So don't sit back and think that you are free.
What?
You don't know the story of the scholarship secretariat, the scandal?
I know that one, but what about his brother?
No, his wife's brother.
His wife's brother did what?
His wife's brother received a scholarship.
So he
received the scholarship, received the allowance, and didn't go to school.
He didn't go.
Didn't refund the money.
Oh wow!
And chopped the money.
Okay.
I've petitioned the special prosecutor, so that case is currently at the special prosecutor's
on
office.
that specifically, or the scholarship secretariat itself?
No, the entire scholarship secretariat. His is just one of the issues. His is just one of the issues of the scholarship secretariat. Okay. So today, if you want to sit and cast insinuations about which of the two is corrupt, John Dramani Mahama is squeaky clean, as the NDC puts it, and as everyone puts it. But as for your driver's mate, who has touted every day that he's a driver's mate who should be given the steer, and how he has messed this country up, with the greatest of respect, he doesn't even qualify to be a driver's mate. At most, we will allow him to be a loading boy. But for us to give the vehicle to a loading boy who doesn't know how to drive, that we will not do. In fact, the two of them, Bawumia and Napo, they are both loading boys. So we cannot give them the car to drive. We need to give the car to an experienced driver, in the person of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, who has done it before and who will do it again. And the Ghanaian people would not listen to the lies this time around of the MPP, the sweet talk, the deception, the misconception, and the untruth. Ghanaians are wide awake, and they will not buy it this time around.
Okay.
Okay. Well, one thing we can take from what Osman have said, my good friend, is the fact that his admission that Mahama has been a driver before, and we all know he was a careless driver. As I've already said, he was an incompetent driver. He brought Dumso. The sad aspect is that this word has found itself into.
How did he bring Dumso?
Let me clarify it properly for you. During his 4 years tenure, Ghana was permanently in darkness.
4 years, Ghana was permanently in darkness.
He was an incompetent president that, through his incompetency, Dumso has found his way in the Oxford Dictionary. We have seen him driving before. When he left, he had equally driven us to the IMF when there was no external exigencies of. What was the external problems? He left us with IMF. So it's not that we haven't seen him. The point we are making is that Bawumia had not been a driver.
Did you solve himself?
Sorry?
Did you solve himself?
When did he end? Whose error did he end?
Did you solve them?
My question is,
the MPP play a major role in ending it.
Okay,
listen, it doesn't matter when you
did you solve
MPP.
Let's assume without admitting.
Yes, MPP resolved it.
Did you solve himself?
MPP resolved it. It ended during MPP time. Look, MPP resolved this. I'm not in the energy sector, but I am telling you, MPP ended. I had that experience in their 4 years.
Because the party is sending you to communicate, they should tell you the specific things they did.
Listen.
To resolve.
And you see what
I am telling you.
My senior colleague doesn't read.
Look, he doesn't. He kept interrupting. When he was speaking, I allowed him.
Okay.
No, please, can you be a gentleman? When he was speaking, I allowed him. Yeah. He made so many insinuations. I was surprised you didn't ask him picking questions, and some of them, as he tried to brand himself as saints, that Bawumia is not even qualified to be. He and his running mate are not even qualified to be driver mate. They are Lodem boys. I want to clarify to him that it was a euphemism he had used, a metaphor, to explain the role he played in governance. But what we are saying is that if you compare the role he has played in government, we have not seen him being at the helm of affairs as a president. But we have seen John Mahama as a president. And as I've already said, I am not the one who is saying he was incompetent. We shouldn't give him the chance. The Ghanaian people gave their verdict that the 4 years he was running this country was not good enough for us. And that was why one of your listeners did not pick up properly. That verdict is a summary that he was incompetent, as Bawumia rightly described him. So that's how it is clear. Thank you.
Okay. I'm sure they'll give me just some 5 minutes, 2 minutes each on Galamsey. I'll start with you.
I think Galamsey. Okay. No, I thought he's been starting with you all the time. No, maybe he loves to start.
That was his Galamsey time. He used to talk about
it. You see that? Maybe he would love to always start. Okay, yes. Galamsey, I must admit, as the newspaper said, is a problem. It's not just a problem during the MPP time. It was a problem during their time. And I want to lay the blame squarely on the people of Ghana. Hey. We as a people, I mean, you read the story, the person who even reported it, he tells you, it's not just various government that has failed to resolve it. It is also our traditional leaders and we the people in general. So I believe if genuinely we want to solve this problem, instead of scoring political points, this is where we can have national interests of all political parties coming together for us to sit and have a national strategy as a people. This is how we are going to tackle it. I think so. I think
you are blaming the people for the problem.
When I say we, the government, I mean read our constitution. The constitution starts with we the people. Government is part of the people.
I'm not arguing with you on that.
Yes, government is part of the people.
Why do you think the president said he's putting his job on the line to fighting Galamsey?
Well, I mean, he was trying to emphasize how serious the problem is and that he would fight it. But as you said, but let's admit, is it only in the MPP time that it is a problem?
You are speaking another press language.
No, I'm not speaking. I don't know what another press said about it. But what I'm asking is, do you think that is it? It is only in the MPP government that we have this problem.
So I should go back and blame the NDC.
So this is why I'm offering you a solution. The solution is for all the political parties and we as a people to prioritize it and stop scoring political points. And to say that this is our national strategy, that we want to fight it, regardless of a political party. But people will keep saying, we will do this, we will do that, and the problem will not be solved.
Okay.
Annie.
Usman.
Stop
scoring political points from Galamsey.
Yes.
It's a
but
problem
today
that started.
I want to leave you with a Bible
But you know,
verse.
it's interesting how you don't want to accept that Dumso is a problem that started years ago.
Annie, allow me to.
Usman.
Annie, let me just speak to a few things. I'll speak to Dumso. There's this favorite quotation in the Bible, Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. For lack of knowledge, my people perish. You see, for lack of knowledge, NPP communicators perish. And they perish all the time. I don't know whether it's that they lack knowledge, or they don't read, or they pretend to lack knowledge. You asked him when Dumso ended, or did NPP end Dumso? And he was struggling to say that NPP actually ended Dumso. What did you do about ending Dumso? You did absolutely nothing. How many megawatts did you add to the national grid? This is a lie that has been cooked from the NPP's headquarters. That as soon as their communicators start speaking, they say that, oh, Mahama brought Dumso, Mahama brought Dumso. What did you do about Dumso? What have you even done about the energy sector? Absolutely nothing. When you compare it to John Dramani Mahamad's track record of increasing our supply from about 2,000 megawatts to about 5,000 megawatts within a short period. Unprecedented. So please, when it comes to issues of energy, don't even try. Don't tempt. Don't even go there. Now, the issue of Galamsey, Annie, you see, when a man is pretending to be sleeping, it's very difficult to wake the man up. You see, when the NPP government pretends to be fighting Galamsey, this is what will happen to us. When, in fact, Galamsey is rooted at the presidency, at the Jubilee House, that is where Galamsey activities actually take place. Why? Haven't we seen activities such as Galamstop, Interministerial Committee, then what? Operation Vanguard. At the end, what happened? People at the presidency were seen taking bribes from Galamsey operators on camera. Didn't you all see Charles Bisu taking bribes, believed to be having money from Galamsey operators? So if you have your own actors, and what again didn't we see? The president at the end of the day comes out to clear his own party executives who are engaged in Galamsey. His own regional chairman. What's the name of that, his company? The one that was Akonta Mining. Yes, Akonta Mining. The president had to come out and clear Akonta Mining for Ghanaians to see that, yes, as usual, he's a clearing agent. So what I will tell you is that if the government doesn't have that will, if the government is not interested in fighting Galamsey, then I beg you, by 2030, as the report says, we may have to be importing water. And that is the more reason why we must kick this government out of power. Because everything they have claimed they want to do has always been a pretense, has always been theatrics, has always been a charade. Yet still, they are not doing it. They pretended to be fighting corruption, yet they are the most corrupt. They pretended to be fighting Galamsey, yet they are the actors of Galamsey. Yet they are the ones who go about seizing excavators, and at the end of the day, the excavators either get missing or they burn some. So this fights about Galamsey. And today, what is he telling us? He's trying to now shift the blame from they, the ones the Ghanaians have given them the power, to we the people. The people have given you the power to fight the menace within the society, and now you want to blame the people.
The report on the ground, everybody involved in the Galamsey research is coming out with reports that the people that are actually involved are the leaders, ministers, MPs, chiefs, opinion leaders, MCs. They are the ones who are sending, yes.
Party executives.
I don't know about
party executives.
I don't know, but if you know opposition members, I'm sure by now you must have actually.
Which opposition member?
I think it's an embedded Ghanaian problem, and we as a people we need to collectively deal with it. But let me make a point.
But Annie, I'm not that. Annie. If the Ghanaian people mistakenly voted for you due to the lies and the sweet talk, and today you have now thrown up your hands in despair that you're unable to do it, then it's time for you to pack out. Because clearly you have demonstrated beyond reasonable doubt that the thing, it has over you. So once it has over you, it's time for you to go. So to the Ghanaian people, the NPP have thrown their hands up in despair. Issues of economy, they've thrown their hands up. Issues of fighting Galamsey, they have given up. Issues of corruption, they have given up, and they have resorted to lies. So the thing has over them. So once it has over them, it's time for them to go. And the good people will do that come December 7, 2024.
Said that the ongoing debate over the political party that has copied elements of another manifesto seems to overshadow more crucial considerations. The actual benefits these policies bring to the people. What are the actual policies? So the focus on the manifesto plagiarism distracts from the substantive discussions about how these policies can improve lives. It is far less important which parties' ideas are adopted than it is to evaluate how these ideas are implemented and their impact on the society. Instead of dwelling on the origins and of these policies, let's concentrate on the practical outcomes and how they serve the public interest. In these times, our priority should be constructive dialogue and effective solutions rather than engagement in what often amounts to petty dispute. This is from Sebastian Sign. Sebastian, thank you for this message. It's important. I was trying to draw the attention to it. Anyway.
I think he's correct. Thanks to the NDC, custodians of knowledge, according to Osman, apparently MPP collectively, we the communicators, we have no knowledge. They are the custodians of knowledge, and yet they engage in frivolous accusations like 1 million digital coders is equivalent to 1 million this, and therefore it's a copy. I do agree with the listeners. These are frivolous charges that they need to get serious as a party so that we can have a proper debate. As she said, we spent 3 weeks in responding to charges of plagiarism.
You're responding to the Galamsey.
Sorry?
You're going to respond to that.
No, after the Galamsey, I have already...
Have you given up?
He doesn't... Listen.
They are blaming the people.
You see, the issue about NDC is that they think everything... Let me come. What I'm saying, the issue about some of them, especially Osman, is that they think we must be combative about everything. But there are certain things we can identify them as a national problem. Because it was a problem in their time. They couldn't solve it. It continued to be a problem. No, I will not pretend it's not a problem. It continued to be a problem.
The fight has failed.
Their failure to resolve it and our failure to completely remove it tells us that it's a national problem embedded, and that if we want to resolve it as a people, we need to come together.
Okay.
Because he has had opportunity to deal with it. Did he resolve it? No. If he had resolved it, we will not be having it now. They had more than 4 years to deal with it. They couldn't resolve it.
I don't understand this argument.
The argument I am saying that you don't like...
Where someone is in charge,
yes.
And you say you're not doing well, you're incompetent, so move, I'm coming to do the work.
And I have told you that we are struggling to resolve it completely. It is an admission I'm making to you. Just as they failed to resolve it.
You're not struggling to resolve it completely.
Yes.
You made it worse.
Listen, and I've told you the way forward. You've told me we've made it worse. And I'm telling you the way forward. The way forward is for both political parties to recognize that we have failed to resolve it. And the way forward is to see it as a national problem rather than using it as a political football, for us to sit down together with the traditional leaders.
So when the NDC was in power, all problems were NDC today.
Yeah.
NPP, all problems were NDCs. Today NPP is in power and all the problems are Ghanaians' fault. What a cynical attitude. Good morning to you. Mansa Musa from UK. All right. Let me draw the curtains here. And this one says that, Annie, please ask your panelists if he knows what top of mind awareness is and how it's achieved. It's a marketing expression that sticks a brand on the minds of consumer. If that's anything to go by, then I adopt the logic and I suggest he adopts it too. And that is, I think, prior to the message and this is subsequent to the message he sent earlier on, if Ghanaians are calling Dr. Baumia a liar today. Okay. So, Prosper, thank you for the message. I'll draw the curtains here, right?
What really happened with your link today?
On TV, free to air, I'm not sure what happened. But the technical team has updated on that.
I've seen so many messages.
Yes, I'm also seeing a lot of messages there. So pardon us, just in case you missed it on TV, those who joined on social media, thank you. But some were, successfully joined on DSTV. And DSTV is channel 277. But we apologize for that.
But these days, due to the hardship in the MPP, people can hardly pay for DSTV,
So my technical head said that we're currently experiencing technical difficulties that are affecting our transmissions on the national DTT platform. We apologize for the inconvenience this has caused and are working diligently to resolve the issue as soon as possible. Right? so we apologize. But let me remind you that the Ghana Revenue Authority is giving you a public notice on electronic invoicing of value-added tax, that's EVAT implementation of phase 2. The Ghana Revenue Authority wishes to inform the general public, especially the VAT registered taxpayers, the Commissioner General, in accordance with the VAT Act 2013, Act 870, as amended, is migrating additional 2,000 VAT registered taxpayers onto the GRA electronic invoicing system referred to as EVAT system. To facilitate the migration process, GRA will carry out a series of stakeholder engagement to ensure a seamless implementation. The list of eligible VAT registered taxpayers will also be published in the print media and on GRA website as well. Affected taxpayers should take note and be guided accordingly. GRA can be reached on toll free is 0800-100-110 or WhatsApp them on 055-299-0000 or 0200-631664. You may also visit any of our taxpayer service centers across the country for assistance, signed by the Commissioner General. Gentlemen, I'm grateful for your time today, especially Usman, who was given a very short notice from this morning. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for coming. All right, so we'll join you again tomorrow for Good Morning. Oh, so how many of you know that Ghana is playing today? Or Ghana has a match with Angola today? Usman doesn't know. Usman is throwing his hands in despair on the Black Stars. On the Black Stars. No, he has given up. He was starving because of the Black Stars.
He was starving.
Yes, so because of that,
a lawyer starving.
you know,
I think it's gone beyond the economy. Something else.
So they're playing. We have a match at 4. The kickoff is 4 p.m. today with Angola. It's happening in Kumasi. Most of you don't know, right? Please, it's happening in Kumasi, in the Ashanti region. So we will be supporting them. That's why Dr. Randy Abe is not actually here. So let's hope.
Oh, he's at Kumasi.
Yes, supporting his team.
Okay.
He has pressure, so he'll come back with more grade. Yeah. So Dr. Ketting here, as we monitor the Black Stars today, we wish you all the best and we hope that you give us some good goals. It's going to be a tough match, we're told, but let's hope that they come out victorious. Thanks for watching. We're back tomorrow with Good Morning Ghana.